Hey guys, it's Tom. I'm back once again. And you know what? On this one, I don't think this one's going to be that long, but I wanted to just talk about banking, right? Like just general banking, when you're in the Philippines, when you're living in the Philippines. And what I perceive to be is like from what I can gather, I think a lot of guys that live here, expats, whether they're from the US or other countries, I mean, I could be wrong, but I get the impression from watching other vloggers and stuff, which I still do, believe it or not. Even though I'm living here, now you think, oh, you don't need to watch these guys. Yeah, they're still interesting. They still put on good videos and stuff, so I still watch them. But from my perception, it seems like most of them don't open up Philippine bank accounts even when they're living here. At least not right away anyway. Maybe after a while it doesn't hurt like, oh, maybe I'll open up an account and I'll just have them throw a couple grand in there US, just to have. But for the most part, I think guys, they just use their Western banking. You know what I mean? And because it's kind of like, that saying, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. That saying? Well, that's kind of what I think what expats think about when they consider their banking options. Okay. They're like, hey, man, I can use, especially when you use these accounts, like, and I've mentioned them before, like, Charles Schwab bank accounts, Fidelity, USAA. You can get ATM cards with those companies, with those banks, and you can use them, and the fees are waived, basically, right? They reimburse you however you want to put it. You ain't paying them the fees, you know, and that's like basically what almost $5 per transaction is what they charge here, 250 peso. Okay, so it's 450 to $5, depending on the exchange rate per transaction, and you're not going to pay that with those banks. So why would you sort of mess around with the devil you don't know, right? And then there's other options where yeah, you pay fees like Western Union and MoneyGram and all that, where there is a transaction fee, and then you're not going to get the best exchange rate. They're going to make about a peso and a half at least on you. But you have that secondary option, you know. And I think yeah, for a lot of us, and I don't know, I think that the actually having a Philippine bank account is almost like the last option. Or if we do it, it's kind of like, and they do have online banking and stuff in the Philippines. I'm not trying to say that they're, prehistoric, I know they have online banking and stuff like that. But overall, like, if you do have to go to the bank branch for whatever reason, you're gonna wait in line, man. Like it's not like the U.S. Where the U.S. if you're waiting in line for 10 minutes, you're getting pissed off. What's the guy that's taking the most time or whatever? You're thinking to yourself, what the hell are they doing? Their taxes, And but here it's like commonplace, man, to be like you could just to get a simple transaction done, even right. You can be in that bank for an hour. You know, you're gonna be playing musical chairs. They'll sit down. You can sit down and wait, and then when the one person is done, that's at the window, then everybody moves down a chair. And it's literally kind of like musical chairs, in slow motion. Um, but yeah, so it's kind of like why would you want to sort of do that if you didn't have to? And it's funny, I had one of my viewers said, "Well, I'm going to get an SRV," and it might have been military, like what I'm getting, you know. And I should have that, by the way. And I think it's been over 2 weeks that they've put in for the actual application and everything, because they wait until you've got everything. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to like put stuff in piecemeal. They wait until you got everything you need, and they check with the PRA to see about what things you need and all that. They say, hey, how's this? Is this going to work? Yes or no? You know what I mean? So you're not going to really, probably won't be any surprises. But you got to wait until you get everything. And then they apply, and then it takes 30 to 45 business days. So I mean, I'm probably looking at February, and I might even have to extend my tourist visa one more month because that's coming up, like, in about a month, from now. So whatever, that I'll do what I have to do. It's like been working on this for a while, so. But one gentleman said, oh, well, I'm going to have a Philippine bank account because I'm going to have my deposit for my SRV will be in a Philippine bank account. That's correct. But that's not the kind of bank account. That's not like a personal banking account. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure, that's a PRA bank account, basically. The Retirement Association, the Philippine Retirement Association, or whatever. That's their account. You know what I mean? So they just hold that money, and you can only use that money for like buying a condo, or I guess buying a house or land or something like that, right? Or of course, you'd have to, if you're going to buy land here, you're going to have your wife's name on it, or at least have both your names on it. But a Filipino name has to be on it, you know, as far as land goes. You could also lease land, long-term leases on land that has a house on it or whatever. For 25 years even, you can lease it, and you might be able to use that money for that. But that's it. You can't just. That's not just money that you can access, and that's not like a personal bank account either. You know, just so you know. You know. Um, but anyway, I'm just trying to convey that it's. I mean, it's something you could do here. I mean, I'm not saying not to do it, but I'm just saying I think a lot of guys here they feel like if they don't need to do it, that they're not. Like their banking in the U.S. or whatever is working for them. So then why sort of create another red tape system? For accessing money or whatever. So anyway, but it's almost like I'm almost want to open this up to discussion. So if you got any comments about it, I'd like to hear them. Um, but that's about it, guys. I just wanted to touch on that. Yeah. So, guys, I will see you later. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There was this one guy I used to watch because I'm from Chicago, right? And this guy was a Chicago. He passed away, I think, recently, like a year or two ago. Colada is his last name. And he used to say he had a YouTube video, as he got older, like maybe just before he passed, like maybe 3 years before he died or something like that. He started a YouTube channel, and it was interesting, and because that type of history is sort of interesting to me too, right? It's just I don't know, but he used to say at the end, he would say like, comment, and prescribe. And he had a real serious Chicago accent, man. Like you go watch, you listen to this guy, and you're like, yeah, you know what I mean, like serious old school like Chicago accent. And he would say prescribe, and then he would say, I keep getting that word wrong. Like he knew that he was messing it up, but it was kind of funny. So I always think of that whenever I ask you guys, like, comment, subscribe, prescribe. But all right, guys, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend coming up. All right, see you later.